Hey everyone, it's Kin-Tae with It's Necessary. I hope that everyone's having an amazing morning. So, excuse the head congestion. I ended up catching a cold on last week. I slept with my fan on me and the house was really cold, but you know, when you get my age, you start having hot flashes and stuff like that. But anyways, to God be the glory. So I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about what I kind of dealt with on last week. I got home and I went to go check my mail. Usually my son checks the mail. And some just told me to go to the mailbox and, check the mail. And I did. And once I took the mail out, I got in my car and I saw this letter, and the Lord just told me to begin to worship Him. So I was like, okay. And I took this letter. I've never received a letter like this before. And I'm just waving it before God. I'm like, Lord, whatever it is, I know that you're in control of everything. I don't know what this is. But God, I give it to you. I hand this over to you. And I was like, God, you're in control of all things. So, this is yours, Lord. And then, I went into my worship and things like that. Like I said, not knowing what this letter was. So I get home and I open up the letter and I read the letter. It was very, it was extreme. It was so disturbing, this letter that I had received. And I'm like, okay, God, but you knew. That's why you had me to go into prayer and, worship. And give this letter over to you because you knew what I was going to end up reading. And so with this letter, I look at my life and, you guys know I've lived in over 40 something different addresses. My book is entitled, It's Necessary, 32 addresses, but at the end of the day, I've been studying the book of Genesis. And so I look at Joseph's life and all that Joseph has been through. He was in the home with his brothers. His brothers hated him because of a coat. They envied him. They sold him. Then the then they end up selling him into Egypt, to Potiphar. And then Potiphar's wife lied on him. And then Potiphar, they end up throwing him into the prison. He was in prison. Then he ended up giving the dreams, so all these things that Joseph had went through, from being abandoned, from being lied on, all this stuff, the Bible said that the Lord was with Joseph. So what I'm trying to tell you is that whatever the adversary tries to throw at you or tries to get you to maybe be discouraged or try to push maybe a little unbelief or make you doubt in your God, you just got to push back with the word of God. Now, this letter that I received, like I said, again, it was so disturbing. I couldn't believe it, But I said, Lord, I want to deal with this, situation in the right manner. I don't want to be angry. I don't want this, any bitterness or anything coming up in my heart because of this situation. I want to deal with forgiveness when it comes to this situation. I just want my heart to be pure because we never know, especially nowadays, you never know when the Lord is coming back. So I was like, God, I want my heart to be right. And so trying to make a long story short, I gave it to God. I called my pastor, and I asked her, I was like, I just want to make sure that I'm dealing with this situation right because I need my soul to be right. And she encouraged me. She was like telling me, yes, you are. I'm just making sure that I'm taking inventory on myself to keep myself together, but I'm guarding my heart as the Bible tells us. So to say all that, know that whatever test and trial that you go through or whatever the adversary tries to bring to you, and within your heart, your mind, and your soul that you're doing all that you can to live right before God, know that God is with you and He's leading and guiding you. You have to think about Joseph's life. He's went through test after test after test, trial after trial, but the Bible states that God was with Joseph, just like He's with you, just like He's with me. And regardless of where we're at in life, the end result is that He's going to set you up for something even greater. So to God be the glory. I pray that you've got something out of this, knowing that God is with you through your test and through your trials. Don't throw in the towel. Try to deal with everything from a clean heart, from a pure heart, a pure place in your heart and in your mind.